This is what I call the grave robber beetle on account of where the some of the materials come from. It's a beetle pattern, completely nondescript, and I found it's a very good prospecting fly in Great Lake. If the fish are rising, they'll take pretty much anything, I think, in Great Lake. But if you just fish around McLanigan's Island with this, I find fish often come up out of nowhere and grab it. It's also got a winging technique, which I haven't seen used a great deal in club fly tying sessions, so it may be new to some people. It's using a template. Maybe if we have the big, well, this might be, yeah, maybe the big picture's better than the vice for the moment. Steve, if you can swap me over them. Right, that's the one, yeah. It seems to be, it's got a mirror image, isn't it? Isn't that interesting? Gosh, anyway, it's just the Fly Tyers Benchside Reference Book. It's a very good book, which it's very thick. And it came out in, I think, the late 90s.
Bible, David.
Sorry?
It's the Bible.
It's the Bible.
It is.
That's what it was kind of called when I first joined the Fly Tyers in the early 2000s. And people were all buying these, and I bought my copy. And if you haven't got one, I recommend you should get one because it's intriguing. And on page 284, it shows the technique, the winging technique of using a template, and cutting the template out and using it to make the wings, which is what we'll be doing. Now then, is this clear? Kind of clear? First of all, you get a sheet of ordinary printing paper, fold it in two, and then draw this kind of profile on it. This, of course, is much bigger than you'll be drawing. Everything's come out kind of reversed. But what it says is, essentially, for a size 12 hook, this works pretty well for me. The length of the wing from the tip down to the end of the wing, about 1 centimetre. This, excuse me, this bit here, which, hold it up, this bit here, which we're using for tying it down, about 1/2 centimetre, and the height of the wing from the fold up to the top, about 1/2 centimetre.
Want to lift that up a little bit? Sorry, lift that up.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah.
In fact, it's kind of reversed.
No, it's the right way around for us.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? It's all back to front for me. Well, like life, really. So if you've got enough of that, I can kind of leave it there.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yep. Okay, so the sizes, I've got a couple which I've had for ages and they seem to have lasted. This one for a size 12 hook, probably best to look at the, maybe, that's it, yeah. You can roughly see the size compared with the hook. But for a size 14, really the one I've used is really pretty tiny. And tying a size 14 with this technique is fairly fiddly. But with the size 12, it's a lot simpler. So the first job is to make the wings before we put the hook in the vise. Next thing is to cut the wings using the template. The winging material I use, red material from artificial flowers from Cornelian Bay Cemetery. And as I was explaining to someone, Laurie, I think, I don't go around robbing graves, really. The wind blows the artificial flowers towards Cornelian Bay and over a dog walking track, which I frequently use. So I pick them up there. And I've used quite a few in different flies, but this particular shiny red material, orangey red, I've only seen it once, which is a bit of a shame, because I really like it. Making the wings is reasonably straightforward. I'm going to have to hold it right up, I think. Just fold it in two so it's long enough and put a bit of a crease in it. Then just get the template and put it around the bloody thing up around the fold. And the important thing here is to make sure that the fold in the winging material comes right up to the fold in the template. And having done that, I've got one of these wonderful vices that Laurie Macham sold me, quite a reasonably priced vice, Laurie. And a good,
You know, I've been using one of those vice for 30 years.
Yep.
And it's still as good as the day I got it.
A bloody good vice. It's spring
The
loaded.
spring lever.
So you pull the lever and this will grip it absolutely bang on and hold it so you can cut it out without fear of it slipping. So there's my phone. There we are. I've disappeared, have I? No.
It's
Okay. I'm back again on the phone. Now, what I'm going to do, and again, maybe go over the big screen, this is, do it how you like, but I pulled this vice out of the stand for this bit and basically move it around as I need to cut it. There we are. I think there it is. Okay. So that's one of the things that happens first when you tie the fly, putting the wing on. Right, now the hook I use for this, if I can find the thing, is a Beetle hook. I use Camazan B400, so it's fairly thin wire and a fairly quite a deep gap, so it's not in a shortish shank, but you might have your own favourite Beetle patterns. I'm not quite sure what thread I suggested you use. I just use a uni thread black with an 8/0 and just cover the whole shank with the thread. Now, some of these I tie with a hot spot on the shank. I don't know what other people think, but I think if it's a dull day, it can help direct the fish to it. If it's a bright day, it might scare them a bit, so I've got some without it. I don't know if that's your experience too with using this fluoro stuff. So I put a little bit on at the tied in at the bend of the hook.
Is that just a pink, mate?
This one here is ultra thread fluoro orange. If I can get the thing down somewhere where you can see it. Where is it? There, ultra thread fluoro
for
orange.
putting little tags on the iron blues as well.
Sorry?
It's really good for putting the little tags on the iron blue done.
Oh yes. Yeah, I've got this in this colour and also in red, and I think either of them it really does give a hit. I don't think I've got my UV torch here, but I might go and grab it and put it on there, show you what it does, because it really does hit. I just wrap it down the bend of the hook for just a few turns, just a couple of mils, and then back again, and then tie it off. Should be plenty. Okay. Then take the thread forward and tie in the wing. Now the wing is tied in by putting the fold obviously over the hook with the wings facing backwards, and the little tag just leaving enough room to put a hackle in front. So this is probably okay. Tying it down by that, and I generally leave a little bit more than I need, so I just happy to trim that off and tie it down. And take the thread back behind the wing, stand the wing up. The wing will flop around, but with the body behind it and the hackle in front, it'll stay in place pretty well. The moment I've just bent it forward. Now the body, I use just seal's fur and rub it on to make a nice little round kind of beetle body. And instead of just using one kind of seal fur, I read somewhere, I think, or somebody told me that natural insects tend to don't have monochromatic bodies. They've got bodies which are kind of dappled. So I use a yellow, an olive, this fairly bright green, and just pull out a pinch of the three of them. And then mix them together and use that as a dubbing.
That's why the laser light was so good, because it was a square spectrum of light. And
I can't open the bloody thingy. What's going on here? Why do they make these things so hard to open? Oh, there we go. So what about a spectrum of light? Was that Laurie?
yeah, the laser light is a square antron, so it tracks the spectrum of light through, which gives you purple, yellow,
Right.
green.
I'll just pull this together. So it's still not kind of evenly mixed. There are little kind of bits of green and bits of yellow in it. I quite like it. All right. Having done that, just dub the body for the length of the hook, quite loosely dubbed on, so it forms quite a round kind of a body. Oh, touching the point of the hook, I shouldn't do that.
Back on.
Still, first, you all know, is a great floater. So this fly really does float like a cork. But the fish really come up and have a grab it. Good gracious. Should be okay, I think. Okay. So if you stand the wings up now, they're not going to bounce all the way back. They're going to be held in position by this body. And bring the thread round in front. And if you just tie into the beginning of the wing, you'll hold the wing back in position over the body. Then a black hackle is the only remaining thing. Not too long a hackle. Let's have a look and see what I've got here. That's two there, is it? Let's have a look. Pull out one or two. Oh, it's just one. Let's have a look. That's probably a little long, that one. I think I might find something a bit shorter. That'll do. Okay. All right, prepare the hackle, pull off the lower stuff. Cut off a little knobbly bit at the bottom. I don't know how other people tie in hackles, but I tend to hold it in position with one turn, then figure of eight it so I've got it quite well gripped. Then trim off the stub. So with a mil or so, a mil and a half, the stalk. I've done that. Hope I've done it. Can't see a bloody thing. There we are. Then tie it up underneath the hook, so it's really firmly bound on. And then I bring the thread back behind the hackle. So when I've tied it, I can wind the thread through the hackle, which I think holds it down pretty firmly. Hackle pliers. Now then, this is something I'm likely to cock up. I think I need to, let's have a look if I've got it gripped properly. That's better, maybe. That's better. One, two, three. Doesn't need a lot of hackle because the seal swell will make it float. It's four turns, that should be plenty. And wiggle it through the fibers. Just right. Didn't quite work. Okay. Try the end. I've just about got enough eye left to tie it off. Little hackle fibers, might get rid of them. That's right.